Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Real Diversity here, man. Excuse any background noise you guys might hear. I'm just here to talk about Conquest really quickly. What happened there? What happened there? Not entirely sure what happened. I don't know if I lost that match or if I started a match on accident and never finished it. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Here, this video, we're going to talk about Conquest. I'm going to talk about a few things about Conquest, and so let's look at my shop so far. So we completed the Goblin, and I didn't know what this Infinite meant. Where's it at? So everything at the top, I realize now what it means. It means you can keep buying it infinitely. I don't know why you would want so many Goblin boosters, but that's an option. And funny enough, I was using Goblin in the deck I was using, and I'm highly upset. We got to end of Infinite. I still have actually footage of it. We lost. We got to the end of Infinite. I couldn't talk at the time I was recording it, so I may upload it later. Whatever. Infinite. Yeah, we was chugging our way. We chugged our way to Infinite. We won 4 out of the 5 games, and then we lost the 5th game. And I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think the game matches you with people, I'm assuming in that same win bracket. So I think it also matches you up with someone like high up there. In the previous game I won, right before I got to that 5th game, was really tough too, because it was a negative deck. I've been seeing a lot of those, and I can see why, because it's kind of one of the better formats to play to get the big snaps. But anyone smart knows you don't go against a negative that snaps. And this one, the guy I went against was smart. He would snap if he could play negative turn 3, no matter what. If he could play negative turn 3, this is my 4th game. Okay, hold on, I'm getting sidetracked. Whole point of this video was talking about Conquest, but I'll finish the story real quick, right? So, basically if you get that negative off, you're in good shape in a negative deck and a lot of capacity. And I was being very cautious anytime I knew he got it early. I think he got I think Project Pegasus happened one time, and then he played his Jubilee and got negative on turn 1. Jubilee didn't pull negative. Out of a full deck, it was turn 1. He had 8 cards in his deck. 1 out of 8 chance pulling 1 out of 16 or something, a low odds pulled out negative, and I was like, nah. So anyways, no, not 1 out of 16. What's that, 1 out of I think is that 15? Sorry, 15. Wait, okay, 1 out of 8. I'm trying to do that out of 100. I'm not sure. Anyways, I can't do quick math like that. Anyways, digressing hard. So, it was a negative day. It came down to the final game. We both had 2 things left. We both had 2, I guess, health bars. I don't know what to call it. But whoever lost the game lost, right? It was nothing else. Nothing could save you at that point. And I think, and funny enough, I didn't know this, and I think this was said by what's his name? One of the who does it with Cozy? Alex, I think Alex and Cozy have a little podcast, and Alex said that if you play a Tuma on turn 4, or at least if you on turn 4, if you play a Tuma and he gets destroyed, you can play basically a Tuma on the final turn, and even if he gets destroyed, he still counts, because he gets destroyed after the game. And this is exactly what happened. Was that I had a Tuma on top of an armor, and he enchantress my armor on the second to last match, but Atuma didn't die until after the match, and we had won that match. So then we went to the final round and I beat him there. It was a pretty tough one because I think he got his negative off on turn 5 and he just couldn't really do anything, I think, from there. So pretty good. It was close. It was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I think I had got like an early 4 off of him. Like I think I snapped out an early 4 on the first one. He came back steadily. So yeah, it's a back and forth. But negatives decks are risky unless you can go ahead and secure the 8 cubes on the first turn. It is very risky, and the only way you're gonna secure 8 cubes is if they snap back. And I remember I won a game like that, just like playing the silver ticket or whatever, and I did that. But the thing I like about this, it's a few things. Well, one, there's only really one negative, and that is how much time you might have to dedicate to a match. It's not something you can hop in really quickly and do. But I guess you know that going into it. That's the only negative, is that you don't know how long it's going to take. A normal snap, like 6 round, a normal one, which when you play Conquest and then you go to a normal snap, the matches seem even faster. But a normal snap match is a roughly, I would say, anywhere from like 2 to 8 minutes. 2 to 8 minutes or something like that. Maybe even 2 to 10. I think if both of y'all take, no, not even if you bake the full minute. Not even if you take the full time, which I'm assuming is around like 40 some minutes or seconds or something. Sorry, it's 40 some seconds, I'm assuming, for your, like, the bar to end. I know in the later turns too you get a lot more time, but not even if you take the full time, I don't think the game can be 10 minutes unless there's like connection issues and you're playing a bot, and the bot, I think, will still reload back in. But anyways, normally, and then if both of y'all are really like quick and have simple decks, a match really takes like 2 to 3 minutes. But upwards of 8 if like you have really complex things to think about. Now, Conquest is great. I think if I was thinking, I was like, man, it's not. It's no way. On the surface, it looked like a lot. I'm like, I'm not gonna get the exclusive card. I'm not gonna get half these prizes or whatever. Now, I will admit, I spent some gold on here. Gold I had. I didn't spend any real money. But when I got to Infinite, it cost 500 to re-enter. I think I re-entered twice. I would win my first game, lose my second, and I would re-enter on here. And then if you enter, I think you off rip, like you automatically get like your gold. Like even if you lose your first game, I think you automatically get like 300 or something medals. If you do the Infinite, like just enter the Infinite, you automatically get like a lot of crowns just entering it. So even if you spend 500 gold, it's not a complete waste, which I enjoy that. But yeah, and then the option also is that it's free. Like you can really grind your way up there if you wanted to. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Let me click here. I don't know if, see, I'm not gonna win this. That's the one like thing that shows that you really completed it, is if you win this. And I was 1 win away from that. But the thing with this is, how much time left before it ends Infinite? Does it show me? It should reset, bro. I think if I go to the shop, it'll tell me on the Goblin. So 3 days left. I was seeing a lot of bounce decks. I'll talk about some decks I saw pretty soon. But yeah, it's a solid idea. I have really enjoyed Conquest. At first it looked like a lot. I was like, oh, this is so much. It's not. It didn't look user friendly, which it really wouldn't until you started playing it. I'm like, what are these crown things like that? So, not to elaborate if you already know what's going on, but I do want to kind of put some perspective for anyone, or context, I should say, context. But yeah, so you need these medals to unlock these rewards in the shop. A lot of rewards do not cost that much. Some of them range from, like, I think the prices to the highest I've seen is 1,000. The lowest I think is like 100 medals. 100, it might be 50 medals. I'm not sure. I know some of the early ones are really low, but like it takes like like I think the higher stuff, like I think the infinite ticket was only like 300 at some metal. Like it doesn't show me the price anymore. But I know some things were 1,000, and some things were like just 100, and everything in between, like 350, 450, all that good stuff. If you haven't played this at all, then you should be able to see the prices of medals. But the medals, you earn them by playing through the levels. So that you got the proving grounds, the silver, gold, infinite. The higher you are, the more medals you get. Like the more medals you get per win. Especially when you get the infinite, you get like a stupendous amount of medals per win. And I had like won like 4 games, and I think I was at like almost 3,000 medals. So you get a lot. And they wait every week, so you can't even reach infinite until the final week. So what I don't like is that it's a small window. It is a very small window to get this infinite border. And I don't know what the prize. So is this infinite? Is this an infinite border, or is this just like this? I get the spy man. I get the spy man with the infinite thing. I'm not sure exactly what it means. If this is just like a border that goes around all your characters, or if it's specific to him. So I'm not 100% sure on that. But I do know 5 wins in a row is very tough on any capacity. And the only saving grace is that in Conquest, you can lose a match and still be okay. It's really more so, it's what Snap is good at. It's more about cube. This is where cubes really matter. Well, cubes matter anyway. Cubes matter everywhere. But this is really where Snap. It's really quality over quantity in the fact that one game you can earn 8 cubes, and in 8 games, or you could take 8 games to win 8 cubes. Now here, I think by like the 5th game, you automatically lose like 2 cubes to not draw these out super long, because you could just essentially, you guys could just keep quitting back and forth, and it would be essentially like, I think you have 10 cube bars. So you could go back and forth like 18 times. But they cut that out really early. I think around like 4 or 5. Every like loss counts automatically as 2 cubes. I think it starts at 5. But anyways, yeah guys. So it's really intricate, and it's not hard. Like once if you do decent in infinite, if you can get the infinite, I know that's actually not even an easy task. That is not. I remember winning, like I did the 3 wins on gold, not pretty easily, and then I had the infinite ticket. Then I was waiting a week for the infinite bracket to open up. So it's not too hard gold. I think infinite is definitely a challenge. But I've been seeing a lot of bounce decks, and I don't know, what do y'all do when y'all go against each other? What do bounce decks go against each other? But I will say, and the reason I'm mentioning bounce is because that was the predominant deck I was playing. So at one point I was playing this Red Skull deck. This was the counter bounce, because I was seeing so many spider hams. It was crazy. I said, all right, spider ham my Red Skull if you want to. That's a free 5/14. So we was doing pretty good. And even spider ham anyone in this deck that's like a 4-up. Well, not this deck. It's really my other one. So I was using this deck for a little minute, not long. Don't focus too much on that. It's really this lockdown deck that was like my crown jewel. If I had a destroyer in hand and he got hit with the the spider ham, I was good. If anyone besides Professor X, like if I had a 4-drop in my hand anyone besides Professor X and 4 and up was solid to get hit. So Spider Ham was definitely doing like nothing to me. He was disrupting nothing. So this was my deck. It worked okay. It really works well against decks that aren't consistent, because you're gonna get power in this deck. You're gonna get some power. So it worked. It was pretty consistent. for a little while. So try it if you want. I don't think it is like perfect. I'm sure it's better. This is just what I use. I want to show it. But other than that, man, yeah, this Conquest is a good idea. I've really enjoyed this game mode. The only issue is, man, I can see the challenge. Get 2 wins, not too bad. 3 wins, it's tough. Like, I can see a lot of people getting stuck here for a little bit, but I think it's doable. The chances of winning 3 times in a row, probably, I think, is what, just like 30. Like, it's like 50-50 to win 1 game. Like, the probability isn't too crazy. It's really when you get to like 5 games that like it is hard. And I mean, yeah, your deck has to be good. It has to be consistent. I think is a big thing. The bounces were good, I think, but I also, this deck too was a small counter to bounce because it did have wave in it. So wave was another counter. It's counter spotter ham and bounce, and it just counters a lot, but not everything. So, but anyways, yeah. So I don't really think I have much else to add. We already hit infinite, so our only objective this month was to play a few cards, and I haven't been on this game too much. I downloaded another game recently, Pokemon trading card game. I saw an ad for it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I like the way interface of that game." If you know the game or interested in checking it out, subscribe to the channel because we will probably be posting videos on there soon. And that is it really for Conquest, man. I just wanted to say how I felt about it. It's definitely a fun mode. I think a lot of people were excited about it anyway, coming up. But it has been a little bit. I didn't have much faith in it at first, I must say it. Especially, like, I knew it was coming. I think the data miners get this information so far out. I think the data miners knew about this in like February or something, March, or they even dropped like no, not even that. I think Marvel Snap themselves said this was like on their list of stuff to do a long time ago, and it took quite a while for it to actually drop. I never know I think they just wait to not release so much content all at once is my only assumption, because there's no way this should have took like a long time for it to release. But I think that's the same as why they drop a card a week, and I think they just want to keep the game fresh. But I think also when you move so slow, it is a balance at it. Like, you don't want to drop so much or so early that like anyone that joins late, like anyone that gets on Marvel Snap today, you're like, not to say you're behind, but it's going to be a little hard to catch up. And also Conquest, I didn't gain any. I lost more gold than I gained because of how much I spent at the infinite thing. But you can actually earn gold and credits through this if you do it like freely and don't like buy your tickets, or if you buy your tickets but with your medals, and you're in good shape. So, but yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And I think, man, that's oh, there it is. I think the video drop. Yeah, so that's all I really want to say, guys. I think oh yeah, I got the exclusive card. I was thinking this was gonna be hard, but once I like bought like 3 things, I was like, oh wait, it's not gonna be hard at all, because a lot of things are cheap. And honestly, what's the infinite at? If you wanted to, it's not that cheap. I was gonna say you could spam the 250. I think there's cheaper stuff, but like if you just like really wanted the exclusive card, you could just keep spamming the 250 as a little hack. I'm pretty sure that may not be obvious, but like once you like buy everything cheaper than 250 and you just keep spamming 250, and that's pretty doable, especially if you like get to infinite or so, because you'll get 1,000 crowns pretty easily the higher up you get. So, but anyways, yeah, man, that's all I really want to say. Hope you guys did enjoy this, man. If you did, please like, subscribe to the video. We will be back with more content, and I really want to get back into making some decks. I like to use decks that I see, and I also like to make my own. This lockdown deck was pretty much my own. I just I just said that I remembered having a lot of success with this deck a while back, and I felt like it was a great counter to bounce at the Spider Ham bounce. And initially, I put Wave in here? I took someone out for Wave. I cannot even remember. It might have been Cosmo. I think I was running Cosmo instead of Wave. So, which Cosmo might need to come back, because Cosmo is also a really good counter to he basically is like Sentry and Destroyer. Like, him and Zero basically partner well with each other. And then what I learned with Atuma recently about him like being okay if you play him on the final turn, I think also that it'd be a little more synergy. Probably need to take out Goblin. But I was enjoying Goblin because he was being disruptive along with Viper. So, like, imagine like turn 4, you play Sentry, then you Viper and Goblin turn 5, and you're set up pretty much good. And if you and that's just where Cosmo, I guess, would be more helpful. Or as long as I play Armor down or so, then I can play Destroyer on. No. I would need Cosmo to avoid destroying anything on my side. Yeah. Well, I think Cosmo needs to come back to I think instead of Goblin. Yeah. Well then. Yeah, it's fine. I think also that's probably more consistent than Goblin anyway. At least because I will know where they're trying to play at anyway when it comes to. So I'll get this deck a try again. Like I said, I was able to win 4 out of the 5 games in Infinite with this deck, so it is definitely consistent. Just depends on who you go against and obviously your draw, because they're like, obviously if you're drawing Professor X on turn 6, you obviously, you're not doing great. If you're drawing cards like Daredevil turn 5, you're obviously, there definitely is a luck factor for sure. But yeah, it's still consistent regardless. So anyways, man, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. That's all I want to say. I don't want to keep dragging this on. I might talk about it some more in other videos. But yeah, this is my thoughts on Infinite Conquest, and it's great. It's great. Jump in. I think it's definitely a good way to. I will say this too. I see a few of you, like even newer players on here. Like if I go to Proving Grounds, I've seen some like really early decks, so I noticed that like it does not discriminate who you play against. Cause I'm pretty sure I played against like a vanilla deck. I was seeing like Cyclops and all that, like no high evo, just like early cards. So, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, peace out, guys.